By now, you have likely progressed through the evolution of dance timeline on this Tiki-Talkie application. If you have not yet had the chance to go through the timeline, I highly recommend you do so before listening to this video. Upon completing my final course project, I was very surprised to learn how much these different styles of dance were derived from an amalgamation of European and African cultural dances. This I found to be astonishing because it really drove me to the following conclusion: that the unique styles of dance that were popularized during the Harlem Renaissance were the first instances in which African Americans and Caucasians were unified. And what I mean by this is that there was equal representation of both cultures within these dancing styles, such as the Charleston, which happened to be the most popular dance of the decade. In addition, I also found it to be very interesting the majority of YouTube videos that demonstrated the different dance forms were predominantly performed by white Americans, especially in those early years with the shimmy, the foxtrot, and the cakewalk. However, we can see a fundamental shift in the perception of white Americans towards African Americans through this timeline, although it's very subtle. In particular, by having white Americans accept new dance forms that had African origins, white Americans slowly started to open their eyes to the idea of African Americans attaining equal rights. Furthermore, in later YouTube videos, we can even see African Americans starting to appear in film, such as Whitey's Lindy Hoppers during the 1936. Thus, the new styles of dance that stemmed from the Harlem Renaissance should not be overlooked when studying this period in African American history, as this was one of the first ways in which African Americans were able to begin paving the way towards civil rights.